In this video, I'm going to take you through the general site settings area of the ContestPad. The general site settings area can be reached by going to the top right hand corner and selecting the cog. In this area, you'll find all the site settings that are across your entire contest. In the general settings area, you have site name, site description and keywords. These are typically used for SEO, so give them some good meaningful names so that people can find your contest site. The time zone area is extremely important. So this area is used to set the time zone in which your contest will run to. So the start and end dates for your upload periods, your voting periods, your judging periods will all be based on the time zone that you set here. The domain area is where you set up any custom domains. By default, you will see the domain name that you set up when you started the contest, when you created your trial. But if you want to add new domains, just select the Add New Domain button, and that's where you can add your own custom domain. So this may be a domain that you've registered, brand new, or could be a subdomain for your contest site. After you've entered your domain, make sure you follow the steps in step 2. This is where you contact your ISP and provide them details around the for the A record, which is the IP address of the servers, or the unique domain ID for your contest site. Which one you use depends on whether you're registering a new top-level domain or you're using a subdomain. Don't forget to select the save domain settings to ensure that everything is saved. In your email configuration area, this is where you select an email service provider, which is going to send any notifications from your contest. By default, you can use the Launchpad 6 standard email delivery service. This is good for sending high volume emails and you don't need to set up anything. The only limitation with this service provider is it can only use the Launchpad 6 domain name, which would be the domain name that you've set up here in the domain section. If you add custom domains, it will not be used by the Launchpad 6 standard. The other two options are the Mailgun option, and this is a third-party mail send service provider, and that provides you a few advantages. One, they're great for really high volume emails. Plus, they provide you a whole lot of other features, such as email tracking, spam blocking, blacklist protection. Really good for, as I mentioned, high volume emails. But most importantly, you'll be able to use your own custom domain. SMTP is where you want to use your own mail service. The advantage of using this is you can use your own mail service and you can use your own domain. However, this service is not recommended to use if you've got a high volume contest, because the notifications through SMTP is the most inefficient out of all of the three methods. The email blocking area, this is where you can add email domains, individual email addresses, or even IP addresses that you want to block from making votes. So if you want to add your own email domains or emails that you want to block, you can open up the email domain blocker and you can enter any emails, individual email addresses, or in fact entire email domains. And we will block those, will not allow votes coming from those domains, as well as IP addresses, where you can select IP addresses that, again, which will be blocked. By default, Launchpad 6 provides a huge list of email domains that we block by default. Typically, these are things like temporary email services where you can set up an email account for about 5 minutes. We do not allow those to be used by voters, and it helps with stopping email vote fraud. The site restrictions area, this is just a general area to restrict access to your site. The first area is the site offline message. Typically, this is used where you're building out your contest site and you want to put a under construction message. You can put whatever messaging you like using the HTML editor here, and just to turn it off and on, just select the on-off button. You can also password restrict your access to your site, so just by entering a password, whatever you like it to be, and once you turn that on, when somebody arrives at your domain for your contest, it will ask for a password before they'll be able to access. Again, pretty good when you're doing things like setting up a new contest. Referrers is quite handy where you're running, for example, a contest where you only want people to come to the contest site from a specific URL or specific domain. We've had a lot of employee type contests use this feature where they have to go through a specific corporate intranet site or a corporate portal in order to get access to the contest. We will ensure that only people coming from that domain and that site can access the contest. IP whitelisting basically only allows people coming from a specific IP address or IP address range to be able to access the contest site. The authentication area, social authentication areas, is where you can enter API keys for different social networks for things like being able to log in using social accounts, being able to vote using social accounts, as well as, particularly in the Google area, Google's social API key is where if you want to log in, and access videos from YouTube and link them to the contest, or if you want videos that are submitted to your contest to automatically go to your YouTube channel. At the end of all your settings, don't forget to hit save, and then all of your site settings will be saved.